output and employment. It tells us that how the total output can be attained, or what level of the total output can be attained, and what is the level of employment we can attain by using the resources. Okay, next, what is the method of study to micro? It studies in general equilibrium analysis, and in case of macro, it studies by partial equilibrium analysis. We will explain it to you further in other chapters. And next, in microeconomics, there is small aggregation. It means that there is a small group of industries or individual or anything. But in case of macro, there is large aggregation. It means there is a large group of industries, large group of economies, countries, or many other. Okay, now take a look at the board. Note down the important points.
Go.
So now we will deal with the scope and the significance of the macroeconomics. This is not a difference. Firstly, we will take a glance at the scope of the macroeconomics, and second at the significance. First of all, I was telling you that in macroeconomics we will study mostly the concept of J.M. Keynes. J.M. Keynes have done most of this work in macroeconomic level, at the level of an economy as a whole. And in case of micro, we totally read about Adam Smith, because Adam Smith mostly worked at micro levels. Okay. Now, firstly, we will discuss about the scope of the macroeconomics. Firstly, I will explain the difference between the scope and significance. Students have a great confusion that what is scope and what is significance. Scope is the depth of the subject, that how the subject can deal with these things, and how we can get out of that subject, what problem we can handle with that subject. And significance is the important subject, that what things the subject is telling us. The subject can solve these problems of ours. Okay. Now scope. First is estimation of national income. Y represents income. Estimation of national income is mainly done by the macroeconomic tools, the aggregate demand, the aggregate supply, and many others. For example, GDP, gross domestic product. Second, the theory of employment. The theory of employment is given by Keynes. Keynesian theory. There is mainly Keynesian theory of employment. We will study it further. It also comes under the scope of macroeconomics. Third, theory of money. Now, what comes under the theory of money? Firstly, there are two things. If there is anything, so firstly we have to make it, then we have to supply it. So first is creation of money, and second is supply of money. Now, how money is created? There are two things money is created. That the bank reproduce the notes, the bank produce the notes, and also the creation of credit. The bank creates credit. And second, the supply of money. Now, who supplies the money? The Central Bank of India, means the Reserve Bank of India. Next, theory of general price level, that how the prices are controlling in the economy, how the ups and downs of the prices are different. There are also two things, the inflationary gap and the deflationary gap. If the average GDP crosses the price level, then it is called the inflationary gap, and if it decreases the general price level, then it is called the deflationary gap. We will stick to them further. All of them should be explained in the next chapters. Next, the role of government. That was the main, we can tell that is the most important point. How government make the budget, how government spends the money, how the government can allocate get most of out of the resources. This also is the scope of the subject. Next, the exchange rate and the balance of payment. This is the most important point of the macroeconomics. First, what is exchange rate? Exchange rate means that the value of our currency in other countries. The main currency used for money is dollar. So at this time the dollar is above 70 rupees. So the exchange rate and the balance of payment. Now, what is the balance of payment? Mainly, balance of payment is net exports minus net imports. If this amount, the net exports minus the net imports, come positive, then our balance of payments are in positive, and our economy is good, and it is developing. And if the net exports minus net imports goes negative, then our economy is in some danger, and it might be a position of recession. So this is the also scope of macroeconomics, because it all come on a large level, on an economy level, and also at the world level. Next, what is the significance? What is the importance of macroeconomics? First, description of economy. It will tell us about the main possible things we can do in the economy and what is going in the economy. Here comes the estimation of national income. Then national income can be estimated. The study of unemployment, the study of that how much unemployment is going on in the country, and the government budget. Okay, the roadmap of growth and development. Roadmap of growth and development. For anything, we have to make some policies. If we want to make food, then we also have to make a plan. So it's a talk of economy. So we have make many policies to run the economy. So the roadmap of the growth and development was made under macroeconomics, the economic policies. Okay, everyone. Now next is the economic stability. Economic stability. What do we mean by economic stability? The exchange rate is good. That our country has a good value in the monetary markets. We have a good exchange rate. We have a positive balance of payment. So how this all can be done? This all can be done by the use of monetary policies and the fiscal policy. Okay, everyone. Now, what is the monetary policy? We have to give a brief aspect about in plus one about the monetary policies and the fiscal policies. The monetary policy mainly deals with the RBI and the fiscal policy mainly deals with the government spending. Okay, now next, balance of payment. Balance of payment. Now balance of payment, I have told you, it's the exports and imports. The net exports minus net imports. Okay. The problem of unemployment and pollution. Pollution also is the problem of economy at the whole. Okay. Now next is policy formation. The policy formation also comes under macroeconomics. This is all about macroeconomics. The introduction to macroeconomics. Now take a look at these and note the points. Now thank you everyone. Have a